So let's say that you are riding in the car with a friend, and this is someone that you move around with in traffic quite a bit, and you usually drive, and you know your way pretty well. But upon this particular journey, you and your friend have a difference of opinion about which way to go. And in fact, it's a sort of new journey, and you're not altogether sure where you are in relationship to where you're going, and you choose a specific way that you think you should go. But your friend sort of loudly and obnoxiously insists that there is another way. And so you say to your friend, all right, we'll do it your way. And in your mind, you think, I hope we get lost. So it sort of gets a little confusing because you're not sure really what the ultimate intention is. Is the ultimate intention to get to where we're going? Or is the ultimate intention to be the one who is right? Or do I have a stronger intention for you not to be right? In other words, it can get very confusing very fast, sometimes to the point where people have a hard time even knowing what their true motives are in all of this. So let us give you some statements of what we know about your time-space reality. We're going to make two statements that may shake you up a little bit, but we think ultimately they will serve you very well. The first is, there will always be war. There will always be those who aggravate within others a sense of trouble in order to promote the solution that they already have their mind made up about. And it happens on so many different fronts. In other words, you're never going to come into an agreement as a mass consciousness that this is the way. And as a result of that, there will always be disagreements, therefore there will always be turmoil, there will always be war. The other statement that is our favorite of the two is, well-being will always abound. The dominant experience of the majority of people will always be one of well-being. So you can decide at any point in time what part of this you want to play. And we are not for a moment suggesting that you are always and only disconnected in your not wanting something to occur. You can use anything as your excuse to align with well-being, or you can use anything as your excuse to not align. But the ultimate thing that we think is at the heart of this discussion is my own personal power. We think that's what you are always sort of struggling for and reaching for. You are wanting to know that you are personally powerful. And we do not think that any of you can find your personal power when you're joining any group. We think that is the thing that feels most troubling to most about this subject, is it doesn't feel to me that anything that I can do will make it turn out the way I want it to turn out. In other words, it doesn't feel like anything that I could do would really solve this. And we say, this has been going on for a very long time. So we don't want you to stop thinking, but we do want you to think and feel and think and feel and think and feel. And we think that you can easily guide yourself into thoughts and actions that will align you with that which you are about. If you are wanting to, we will offer some statements with the intent of not choosing a side in this debate, but instead of bringing you into alignment with who you really are. Is there something more you want to say?
No, I'm really happy just to have initiated this topic. I'd like to hear any thoughts that you have.
So let's reach for the thoughts and make some statements with the ultimate intention of coming back into as full of alignment with Source as we possibly can. So we'll just throw some statements out, and you feel individually, and you can speak out about it if you want to, about whether it is a allowing or a resisting statement. In other words, is it taking you closer to alignment with who you are or further from your alignment with who you are? I have no real power or real choice in what is about to happen.
It's very disconnecting.
even though I believe I have the right to choose, I cannot find a way for my voice to be heard.
Again, that's not very allowing
Still
either.
disconnecting. It is somehow satisfying to join together with enough others that my voice is heard.
Yes, that's more allowing.
I like gathering together with others of like mind, and I like, therefore, knowing that I am heard. And even though they may not agree with what they are hearing, and they may take an action that is different from what we would prefer, still it feels better having been heard.
That gets more to it.
I like the idea of the people of the world knowing that we are all not in lockstep with our government, that there is diversity of thinking even here. And I like knowing that we are representatives of those who are free in our thought. I like being able to say what I think and say it out loud and say it publicly. I like that part of where I live.
Yes, absolutely.
I like being a part of this nation. I like all that it affords me. I am appreciating what this nation has done on a world front. I think that as a nation, we have been of advantage to the world as a whole. I don't want George Bush to be right, even if it benefits us all. Because if he's right, I'm wrong. So the question that we put to you, since you've already decided that you can't change his mind, or have you?
No, actually I haven't. I haven't decided that. And in my heart of hearts, I really do want whatever happens to happen for the good. I believe in the principles that we put forth as being our belief system, ideas about equality and freedom and justice. I'm just disappointed in our actual track record. I think that we could use our power, resources, wealth, vision to create much that is good.
When you say, I like being part of the America that leads the way into advantages, you like that. When you say, I don't want to be part of a nation that is running over the tops of others, that does not feel good. And so what we are suggesting is you can pick and choose from that which you are and that which you have been and align with the parts of it that match you, because you cannot get your government to line up to your intentions in order for you to feel good. You have no choice other than to look into this body that you call government or any piece of the universe that you are looking at, and you have to find the parts of it to align with that which you believe is good. That is your only recourse. You see what we are getting at?
Yes. I'm very excited about this.
Can you feel? Talk about democracy, talk about fairness, talk about people worldwide being privy to awareness of an event that is evoking from almost every standpoint a very personal preference on a subject. No matter where you think they're deciding or how appropriate you think their decisions, huge desire emanating from your mass consciousness. And source energy hearing all of it. And source energy coming forth in response to it. And each individual gets to decide how much of that well-being they let into their life experience. You see?
Yes.
We've never seen the energy higher on any topic ever. We've never seen a stronger stream of source coming into the physical human environment. We've never seen you with more satisfying clay to work with. Don't let yourselves get on the place where you are pushing against and holding yourself apart from the stream that you are collectively calling forth, you say. Do not fret about it. Do not let war upset you. Let us make some more statements. I want not this war, because I think that only in a war-free world can there be true joy. And yet I know that as long as I've been alive, it has not been a war-free world.
And yet there's joy.
Look at the joy that I have personally experienced in a world that has been far from war-free. So why am I making this war the final decision about my joy. War is part of contrast. Contrast is part of choosing. Choosing is summoning source. Source is life. Variety is good. Disagreement is good. Everyone wanting the same thing would bring endedness. This is a healthy debate. Everyone doesn't have to agree with me for me to thrive. They do not have to agree with me for them to thrive. Thriving is natural. Well-being abounds. A huge war could break out, and it would affect, percentage-wise, a minuscule part of the population. Well-being is so much bigger than pockets of resistance. That is evident everywhere. A war will not stop the spinning of the earth in its orbit. A war will not stop the sun moving. A war will not stop food from growing, or babies from being born, or ideas from being discovered, or inventions from happening, or joy from being experienced, or discovery being experienced. It is just another part of life, just like every other part of life. War is not the crucial thing that I am making it out to be. It is also not a new thing. It has been present somewhere on this planet every day of my life experience. I like the idea of being instrumental in moving the tides of human events. I like that feeling. And I like knowing that I don't have to cast a vote in order to make that happen. I get to cast my vote electronically. I get to cast my vote vibrationally. I am heard. They cannot keep me from being heard. They cannot deny my request. They cannot keep the important interpretation that I have made from this from happening. I have as much to do about the outcome of these events as anybody else on the planet, even those who believe that they are all powerful. Because circumstances and events unfold that give your leaders the impulse to do the things that they do as a result of these huge currents that are flowing. It must be empowering to you to realize that no decisions are ever made by anyone in leadership position and carried out in terms of any sort of manifestation that are not compliant with the vibration of the masses. Talk about representation. It is huge, you see. It is delicious when you really remember and realize that creation isn't about controlling something. Creation is about identifying your personal preference and then allowing it to be reflected in your life experience. It would be nice if government knew that. They could have so much more fun in the process of spreading their joy. Something more? We did not mean that sarcastically, by the way. Which feels better? My government's motives are honorable. My government's motives are dishonorable.
My government's motives are honorable. Does feel better.
But I still hope we get lost.
No, I mean, well, it is a point of view that although feels good is embattled by.
Oh, it is complicated. But it does not need to be. In other words, it does not need to be when you say nothing is more important than that I feel good. But that's a hard case to offer in a situation like this. Abraham said nothing is more important than that you feel good. And you say, you mean it's even more important than I feel good than the war in Iraq? And we say nothing is more important than you feel good.
One can read the texts of any of the world's great religions and find much in them of value. However, the people who run those great religions have far too often presented themselves as an elite that have the connection which they bring to the masses in order to control the masses.
However, the thing that we want you to hear is that no one can control masses that are not in vibrational compliance with being controlled. And the thing that you're missing is that very often that controlling leader rises out of the confused masses who are looking for a leader to control them.